Rich from Patriot Classic 4x4. I'd like to introduce you to our first bodies that we're starting to build on the 2 doors. We do also make a 4-door body, but this is our 2-door, and we're going to go over a couple things and show you what we do on ours versus some of the other builders out there. We're taking a lot more time on fit and finish on these 3 areas here, which is always really off. This is an epoxy primer. That's additional if you want that done. Don't pay any attention to how thick the epoxy primer is, because there's really nothing wrong with that, because you're going to block this out before you start doing your body work. So with having a higher build on this epoxy, it's going to give you some mill thickness to actually do some blocking before you even put the body filler on. So you look at the front end, everything is really lining up very nice as you're going to find. Up underneath, you're going to see that we include the gas shocks. We manufacture the gas shocks. The other thing is, these are our tubs. So we make 3 different styles of tubs. We make the tubs that's made for an OEM stock frame. We make the tubs that are made for our stock frame, which is wider, like our coilover. So you can see how it's notched out nice and neat. One thing about our tubs, if you're doing a coyote, we've already gained you 2¼ inches. That's the maximum. Everybody else is cutting this edge back here and taking it back 1 inch. Well, we've figured out how to do that and give you more. So we're not cutting out the whole top section, where that's where most of them will do it also. They'll just cut probably 50% of this tub out in order to clear the headers and everything on a coyote. We don't do that. We got plenty of clearance. Now, if you're doing our coilover frame, the way we have those designed, we can actually gain you 3 inches per side. That's a huge amount of space in between. So this one's set in epoxy, so none of the body work is done on it, but the hinges are on there, and the latch will be included, the striker will be included, shocks are included, tubs. Now the way we do the tubs, we don't weld the tubs in. I found it's 10 times easier when we go to paint the engine compartment with those tubs out. We paint the tubs separate. Then when we're ready to install them, we'll put 1/4 button head bolts front and back, and then we'll use 3/16 pop rivets and use the same amount of rivets as spacing as if it was welded. So as far as structurally, fine, it's as good as you're going to get. But it's just, like I say, 10 times easier to paint an engine compartment with these tubs out, because the clearance is so tight, trying to get a gun in there, and it just makes it very pleasant to do. The other thing that we make is, this is our cowl. If you'll notice, this is one piece. This is not handmade. This is a production piece that we make, that's a solid going all the way across. It doesn't take a dive down. And we also have another piece that runs at an angle to fill that gap up. And then we have extensions that go on right here. So this is how we do them. If you don't want them done that way, we won't do it. But this is far faster than having to hand make all these pieces. We also, on the underside, you can see where your excess hole is over there, we actually have a laser line on the right-hand side. So if you're wanting that, you'll know exactly how to cut it out, and it'll actually have the holes in it just like that side. So if you wanted to have access to your AC or anything like that, you could do that. And we make the billet cover plate that goes on that side, and it would also fit on this side. So that's something that's going to save you some time right there. As far as when you get it, you don't have to do all this. One other thing that we do also on all these is, you're going to get stainless steel hinges for the hood and a stainless steel hinge for the windshield frame. And these are actually bolt-on. So if you ever have to take them off or do any type of adjustment, you don't have to worry about that. They're not welded on. So if anything ever happened, you can simply unbolt the hinge from the hood and from the body, and it makes it very simple. So that's a nice little option. You don't have to worry about them rusting. You don't have to worry about the paint flaking off because they move. It's just a really nice option that we throw that in on the deal also. These cut out, we don't charge for that. Some customers don't want them, but if you do want them, that's included them in. So you don't have to worry about that. Fit and finish down the sides. This obviously has no gaskets or anything on it, but we do furnish the strikers and the locks. We don't furnish the door handles. But we don't install them, because you're going to have to pull all that back out when you start doing your body work and painting. So you will get a set of those. Now this one here, this has the one-piece bedside. And in case a lot of you people don't know, I'm the guy that invented the one-piece bedsides. It took me 1.5 years to do that. And the reason why I wanted to do it, because I did not like the look of a 90 degree coming out with a seam in there that could allow rust. So you had a nice curvature here and the fenders, and you had the curvature in the back, but here you had a straight 90 coming out. So I designed these, and of course now Tom's Bronco, Wild Horse sells them also, but I'm the guy that invented and designed and waited 1.5 years to get them in. So by doing that, I like the look, because beforehand we had concave metal that we were welding in there. That'd take us 40 to 50 hours to do that. So by doing this, we cut our time down immensely. So I like the look of it. The body line all lines up all the way down to the end. Get back to the tailgate. You're going to get a Ford tailgate. We make a trunnion that if you want to take this tailgate off, you just simply bring it out, lift it up, take it off. So that is optional. The other thing that's optional on these is the gas cap. We will put you in either the factory style, if you prefer, or we'll give you this nice, neat one right here. Well, I shouldn't say give it to you. We're going to charge you for it. And you just simply unscrew that. And then there it is. Very nice little touch. And the other thing that I like to do, I do them on every single one. Unless somebody doesn't want it, you got to tell us in advance. I weld the rockers. These things have a tendency of always splitting. And as you can see, this is not sitting on the frame yet. So we have a little wider gap right here, but that's going to close up when we get on the body, get the weight on it. But we won't have to worry about our seam sealer cracking down there. You're going to get the door frames. You're going to get the windshield frame. Like I said, the holes cut out for the side markers. Full bodywork and painting on them also. At probably the cheapest price you're going to find anywhere in the country. So that's a plus. So if you want just the body, we'll build the body to your specs. If you want the lower cut, the uncut version of the bed sides, we'll do those. If you want the body bed lined underneath on top side, we can do that for you also. And we can do full body and paint. When these are built, we build them off of our frames. So the fit and finish is going to be as good as you're ever going to get because everything's going to line up. And we build them off of either our coilover frame or we build them off of a stock frame. So you can have it either way, but that's the best way to build them. We still have them all jigged and fixtured up, but they're built on our frame specifically on each and every one. And that's the best that you're going to get. So thanks for watching.